Hello, YouTube. It's 10:37 p.m., so I'm not going to talk at a particularly high volume. I apologize for that, but I'll try and remain close to the microphone here so that it picks up everything I say. So, what you're about to look at is I'm about to do some live final table play-by-play commentary of the Dime here on America's Cardroom. I did not participate in this tournament, mostly due to, actually entirely due to the fact that the onboarding process has been unbelievably irritating. but the good news is this website does have some free rolls, and I played one today, and I did manage to cash for 31 cents. So, if it's going to be a process, hopefully I get the onboarding problem sorted out at some point. Um, but this tournament here just reached the final table in 30 minutes. It will be live, well, like semi-live with cards up so that I can actually commentate over it a little bit better. I'm going to do my best to avoid spoiling myself because they are playing as we speak, but we won't see it on this replayer until 30 minutes after the fact. Um, so this tournament here, the Dime is so called because it has a $10,000 guaranteed prize pool. The buy-in is only $2.50. 225 of that goes into the prize pool. 25 cents is held back for rake for the casino. And this particular version of the tournament had 8,892 entrants for a total prize pool of $20,007. The 8 players who have made the final table are all guaranteed $244.08. The winner gets $3,123.76, which, let me do some quick math. That's about 100. No, that's like 1,250 times return on investment, which is insane. But that's what happens when you get fields like this. And I couldn't help but notice that last week the field was like, what was it, 13,600 something, like the winner earned over 5,600 bucks. And I can tell you that I've been keeping a semi close eye on it. I was also watching football, of course, conference championship games. Um, the play tightened up incredibly once we got down to 4-3 tables, and it's I have no idea how long this final table is going to last. I hope it doesn't last too long because I want to go to bed. But if they keep playing as tight as they were, this might take a while. So I think that's it for now. I will go over the player details after they show up. So I will pause the recording here and meet you when they begin play. It is 11:07 now. Should be starting any second now. Don't know why it isn't. Um, I'm 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 still pretty new to this, so if I find a way to just kind of trigger the replayer whenever I want, just within reason, within a short time after the tournament ended, I will try to do that. I don't want to be doing this live commentary at 11 o'clock. I'd rather not. Um, Still not starting. I don't know why. I'll try and reload it. Here we go. Okay, so now I can actually see all of the whole cards. We see CG Cat Daddy 40 here has pocket kings. Nobody else has a lot, although Drewman in the big blind with 6-7 of hearts will most likely defend. B Hopper thought maybe might defend, but no. Oh, so when you watch the replay, you can't roll over and see the players' countries. Interesting. All right, so quick little bio on, well, not bio really, but basically, I was, sort of watching this unfold in preparation for doing the commentary. Alex Hockey 81 was the first person to a million chips. Oh, hold on. We got a big hand right off the bat. Drewman's gonna have to decide whether or not to chase that up and down straight draw. I don't think he will, because if that straight happens to be the 10, yeah, you don't really want to see a 10 because then if Cat Daddy happened to have a queen, that would have beaten it. So yeah, good play by Cat Daddy and certainly a smart fold by Drewman. Alex Hockey 81 was the first person to a million chips, was also the first person to 2 million chips, but ended up just barely scratching and clawing his way to the final table here. As you can see, he's the short stack by a clear margin, 3 million less than 7th place. This was a 8 max tournament, so 8 people at the final table. It was 8 people per table the whole way through, and we have an all in here and probably a call from Go Blues Magic. Ace King versus Ace King. Oh wow! Snap fold the Ace Jack. That is impressive. Goes for about 65% of his stack, but that's still an amazing fold. And we have it pretty much right here again. Unibluffer with Ace King, almost certainly going to go all in. And now one way gets to decide with Ace Jack. The difference here is that there's a bunch of people still left to act. So this is a bit of an easier fold. And nobody else has anything really worth calling. Funny enough, the person at this final table that kind of didn't show up on my radar until really late was actually Jesse 483. I was keeping tabs on the leaderboard and I just never saw Jesse 483 until all of a sudden, boom, there he is, chip leader, and then he knocked out another guy, and they knocked out another guy, and all of a sudden he's way out in front. So he just peaked at the right time. Here we have an all-in from the small blind. Alex Hockey just willing to go with it. Any 2 cards. He was so short-stacked, and they ended up both making the same straight, so we have a chop pot. Alex Hockey is the only extreme short stack. The rest have at least some semblance of play. The blinds are going up every 8 minutes. The blinds are currently 175,000 and 350,000. And suddenly it's paused. I don't know why. One thing I'm noticing, though, is that we're not live. The live button is right there. So I think because I opened the window so early, it just straight up did not register. So note to self, just wait 30 minutes and then actually open up the replay. And as you can see, we're not behind by very much. So I guess while we have this downtime, Unibluffer here has been at or near the top of the leaderboard for most of the way. One way also pretty much showed up under the radar. B Hopper, mostly under the radar. The ones that I was watching was the people near the top of the leaderboard, of course, but then also near the bottom of the leaderboard, because I was wondering if any of the guys who were really, really short stacked could somehow make it all the way. But as for the people that I was actually watching, Alex Hockey was the only one. And he got on my radar because, like I said, he was the first person to 1 million, as well as the first person to 2 million. And did we just hit a break? I don't know why. Okay, well, we just hit the live button. I'm not used to doing this, as you can clearly see. All right, so blinds are now up to 200,000, 400,000. We didn't lose anybody, at least. So Unibluffer, King 4, maybe a limp to one way with the Queen Jack. A one-way raise. I can see an argument for raising. I can see an argument for just checking. Doing check. I think I might do the same. They both flop a pair. And with their stacks being so short, in a vacuum, they'd probably want to get it in here. But the thing is, Alex Hockey here is so short, you don't want to get careless and bust out before he does. In poker, we call that ICM consideration. I forget what it actually stands for, but you just don't want to bust out before the guy that has 1/4 of the chips as you. And with the pair of kings, he is going to go ahead and lead out. I'm a little surprised at the timing here because that ace would seemingly be a slow down card. One way, I'm sure, will call. Now, with 2 aces on the board, Unibluffer is probably not going to suspect that he's up against an ace. He would be correct. Oh, I thought he might try another bet there. One way, I'm sure we'll check back. And that's a 2 million chip pot for Unibluffer. All right, so bunch of nothing. This might even be a walk for Go Bluth Magic. He's the only one with any semblance of a hand. Unless Cat Daddy would like to play the 6-9 suited. Suited kind of connecting. And the time bank activates. And he's just going to go ahead and let it go. I probably would too. He's the second biggest stack, and he's got the biggest stack to his direct left. So, not really the best time to start splashing around. Or one way, I just give him the walk. Yeah. Nobody wants to get too reckless. The pay jumps are no joke. Like, I'll mention the payouts as we go along. I probably could have... Actually, give me a second here. Hold on. I can pause here. I think, theoretically, I can show the payouts. Oh, hold on a second. BRB. That's not quite the way I wanted it to happen, but there you go. You can actually see the payouts. So ninth place already got paid $156.05. We're guaranteed $244.08 right now. And the difference between 8th and 7th is nearly $200. Remember, the buy-in was $2.50. And the thing is, micro stakes players are going to treat micro stakes very seriously. I kind of figured that out myself by just watching the play as we got down to the final 4-3 tables. Like, they were hell-bent on getting to this final table. Now, Go Blue Magic here has a relatively large stack with a really good hand. Yeah, he's definitely going to just call because look who raised. The one guy who can afford to, take a run at him, and you would hate to start the hand with $7.5 million and blow it all and finish 8th place when, again, Alex Hockey only has $1 million. When you play a tournament with a $2.50 buy-in and you got a chance to move up for another $200, you don't want to mess up that chance. Jesse, to his credit, pretty much knows that he can go to town, and but as long as he's within reason, and he has been doing just that. Jesse may raise here. Alex Hockey, I think, has to run with the King 10. I know I would. It's my favorite hand, but I don't think one way is going anywhere. One way might even re-raise all in. But the fact that Jesse raised might give him some pause for thought. Oh, he's going to fold it. They're just going to say, you know what, Jesse, take him up for us so that we can get the pay jump. And he is going to do just that. Jesse takes out Alex Hockey 81. Congratulations, Alex Hockey, on making the final table. And that is $244.08 for you. And as I said, about $200 more for 7th place. And $200 more for 6th place if you can make it that far. But now, since there's no one guy who's super duper short, things might open up a little bit more. TG Cat Daddy does not have much of a hand here. It's been raised by Jesse, minimum, to 800,000. We have... I'm just going to get rid of it. Can't blame him too much, although I probably would have decided to speculate. He's got 20 big blinds behind. Jesse is just overwhelmingly on top here. There is 53,352,000 chips in play here. I'm not sure what took one way so long to fold that Queen 3 suited. Now Cat 8 has got 10-7 of hearts, not 10-4, which is a little bit... And he's just gonna... Wow. I don't know, man. I mean, we all know that guess it wouldn't have folded with that queen jack, but I think 10-7 suited is worth a chance. Oh, that queen's easy all in. Super easy all in. There's no reason to slow play this with that stack. Go Bluth Magic's got a tough one here. But he's going to go ahead and make the fold, which is probably smart because one way made the all in from under the gun. So you kind of have to treat that extra seriously. So very disciplined fold there. And the ace-10 off is going to call, which oddly enough actually has a better chance. Oh, diamonds? Nope. 10's not going to cut it. So a double up for one way, and Cat Daddy, just like that, has gone from second place to sixth. That is the way things can change around here. It's a no-limit hold'em tournament, and the blinds are huge. I mean, this is kind of what you get when you buy in for just $2.50. Eventually, the level is just going to be out of control, and there's very little post-flop play. Of course, today was day 1B of the Venom, which is a $2,650 buy-in, where there's a whole lot more play. But yeah. Okay, blinds just went up to 250,000, 500,000. So yeah. Droomin with 8-9. You would love to play that and see a flop, but when you're down to 7 big blinds, you can't really just see a flop. You have to just pick a hand and go with it. 8-9's not going to do it. So I like the fold there. One way, on the other hand, he's got chips now, so he can see a flop. Go Bluth Magic, I'm sure will. I was going to raise. I thought he might have just limped. Go Bluth Magic may call. May fold. Decides to call. We have a straight draw for one way who should probably bet this. Go Bluth Magic with not much. Just backdoors. Oh, it's going to check the straight draw. It's easy for me to say, of course, because I can see the cards. But maybe he sees those two hearts, and he's a little spooked by that. And now he's got the straight. He's got the absolute nuts right now. There's no flush out there. The board's not paired. So, yeah, very small bet relative to the pot. And he's going to get called by the Jack-8. Of course, he's got an open-ended straight draw with the 8. Of course, the deuce is a complete blank. So one way is probably going to go for like 1.2 million, 1.6 million. And that'll be a snap fold for Go Bluth. Well, not snap fold, but yeah. How about that for one way? Just like that, he's got a little something now. Up to 19 big blinds. Still less than half of Jesse, but you got to start somewhere. You know, he's very clearly now in second place. Everybody else is pretty much tied for last. We haven't seen any of B Hopper. We haven't seen nothing of Grumman. The question is, who is going to step up and challenge Jesse? Until that happens, everybody's basically playing for second. Jesse has to start losing some pots. Or else we're just going to see more of the same. Everybody just kind of getting out of his way and hoping somebody else busts out. It's just $200 of real money if you can survive one more knockout, and 5 out of the 7 players have almost the same amount of chips. So pretty much a bloodbath that nobody wants to step into. Guess he might even race with the 6-9. No, he's not. One way with a borderline playable hand. Everybody else has small chips, so... Well, obviously a good thing he didn't, because B Hopper, I'm sure, is going nowhere with that ace-queen. Go Bluth decides to go with it for Queen-Jack, and ace-queen is loving that flop. And full house for B Hopper. Go Bluth Magic is going to take 7th place. And now we're up to $642 guaranteed with another just under $200 jump for 5th. I gotta say, the payout structure is a little bit weird. I don't really know where they're getting these ideas that pay jumps can be less than the previous one. The payouts also are quite top-heavy, I've noticed. But, you know, they're going to do it their way. The option of a... Oh, he folded an ace. against the chip leader who could be raising with any two cards. Like at some point, you just got to stand up to him. Now, Jesse certainly would have called with the Jack 10 suited. That's the only problem. I see why he folded there, because by raising it to 1 million, if Cat Daddy had gone for it there, Jesse's not folding at all. So he knows, oh wow, the King Jack goes in the mug. Jesse's in the big blind. Just the fact that he's got all those chips is really affecting play. B Hopper can raise without going all in now. And that's a quick little pickup. Yeah, the payout structure's just kind of odd, but they'll do it their way. As I was saying, the possibility of a money deal exists. Unfortunately, on this website, I absolutely loathe every single one of them that I see. I think it takes so much out of the game. If I ever get into a spot like this, I'm going to say I'm sorry, but if you want to take a money chop, you're going to have to knock me out first, because I ain't doing it. Not that I think I'm better than anybody else, but I just can't stand the thought of it. Okay, Drewman has to go with the ace 10. There's no question about it. And with only 4.5 big blinds, one way's got to call with the ace 9. It's such a small all in. Yeah, you got to do it. Looking, oh, no 10, no 5, and there you go. Drewman is alive with just about 10.5 big blinds. So I'd like to say alive and kicking, but that's not a whole lot of kick. Cat Daddy has to fold the 6-2. Jesse with a suited king can raise, and that'll probably get through. Unless one way gets brave here, but after just losing that last pot, I would not blame him for getting a little skittish. Yeah. We're actually kind of lucky here. The usernames here, none of them are really offensive. Because there are a few offensive names on America's Cardroom. Why is this happening again? Well, this really might have been the scheduled break, which would have been 5 minutes. So hold on. If I can move that forward. Ah, here we go. Okay, I moved that maybe a little bit too far forward. I don't know what's happening, because Jesse suddenly has 27 million instead of 22 million. So I don't know what just happened. Unibluffer's all in. B Hopper's definitely going to call, if not re-raise all in. Oh, that's a huge flop for B. Actually, that's a huge flop for both players. And the 10 is going to spell the difference. Unibluffer doubles up. I do apologize for having some of the animations enabled. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I might want to think about turning that one off next time, because it was kind of annoying when I played my free roll as well. And B Hopper folding the ace 9 there. Obviously, after losing that hand, she gets skittish. And this might be an all-in, because he's got the power. Unibluffer, again, a very distant second, is not going to want to risk it with Queen 10 suited. Like, that's nice, a nice hand, but when everybody else has less than you, except for one guy, you just don't want to mess up. And Jesse has just an absolutely massive lead right now. Okay, this time I really do think that there was a break, because the way America's Cardroom does it is there's a break every 55 of an hour. Like X55, there's a 5-minute break. So I'm pretty sure that this actually is a pause. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording here. Actually, before we continue, I do want to point out one thing. I did mention all the chops, and it's entirely possible, because I've only played one tournament, so I don't know how it actually works out. But it's entirely possible that all those mini stoppages of play were somebody trying to initiate a deal. I don't know. But the thing is, Jesse has so many chips that it is extremely unlikely that a deal is going to get done. When he's got that kind of lead, everybody's just going to be scrounging around. There's no way he's going to agree to split some of the money when he's that far ahead, because he's got the rest of the table exactly where he wants them. They're all scared of him. They're all scared of busting out next. So he's just going to want to keep on playing until he loses a sizable pot, and then he might consider it. But until then, sorry guys, but you have to play it out. One more thing while we wait for the action to resume. Don't be all that shocked if Jesse doesn't win. By that I don't mean that he's a bad player. I mean, I have no idea what he's like. I just got to know all these guys same time you did. But the thing is, if Unibluffer happens to pick up like queens and Jesse happens to pick up jacks and they get it all in, then we're talking Unibluffer at over 15 million and Jesse left with 21 million, which is really close, all things considered. We just need one bad hand, and this whole table dynamic can shift in a heartbeat. That is what No Limit Hold'em can do. So let's see what will happen. I think we're going to resume any second now. This is always a lackluster commentary job on my part because I'm not used to the interface and everything. So please do bear with me. I plan on bringing you commentary of a few other games, like the Venom itself might be the next one, because that final table should start much earlier in the day. It should take longer because again, there's just so much play. The levels are really, really long, and the players are going to be extremely good. But that final table will happen earlier in the day, so I can actually handle that. Come on. Man, I'm really, really bad at determining when 5 minutes is, apparently. It says live. I don't think clicking that again is going to get me anywhere. I guess I really should have done a practice. Like, watch the final table first before actually trying to commentate over one. It feels like it's been at least 5 minutes. Try clicking that again. There we go. Yeah, I don't understand the interface. All right, one way might go for it with ace 7. No. B Hopper should go for it with ace 9. No. Oh, but Cat Daddy's only got 2 million. That's what they're thinking. If I'm B Hopper, I go for that. That's like, she's only got 8 big blinds. Sometimes you just got to take a stand. Unibluffer again. Wait, this is the same hand we just saw. The clock just went back like 6 minutes. I don't know what's going on anymore. Cat Daddy, please go all in. I just want to see some guts. Jesse's going to call with the sixes, I'm sure. Unibluffer's going to fold. Oh, he's going to re-raise all in. Very easy folds for the other two then. Good flop for Cat Daddy. Just got to avoid a 6. And that is a successful double up for Cat Daddy. You gotta like all these avatars that they supply you with. They're all... And now you're telling me that there's a break? Let's see what I can do here. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see what I can do. Alright, I think this is the next hand. We got B Hopper with Ace King. Jesse's probably going to open with that King 10, and he's going to be in for a rude awakening. Question is, what does Unibluffer do with that Ace Jack suited? If Unibluffer re-raises all in, maybe he'll just call. I would just call if I were him. But then B-Hopper's definitely going to go all in. There's no getting around that. Yeah, he's going to just call. One way's probably going to fold, since there's a raise and a call already. B-Hopper's going to go all in. And then what? Jesse's probably going to fold because Unibluffer is to act behind. And Unibluffer can't lose all his chips, but he can lose most of them. He's going to call. And B-Hopper looks real good. Yep, B-Hopper's going to double up. Unibluffer could only have hit a jack that wasn't a heart. And Unibluffer now down into desperation mode. B-Hopper up to 8 digits. And yet that's still only 19 big blinds. I do plan on doing some commentary for the Venom, and yeah, the levels and the stack depth will be drastically different. She just folded King Queen. You just doubled up to a sizable stack and you folded King Queen. I mean, she's out of position. I get that part, but jeez, you can't be that scared of the chip leader. And except, I guess you can be. I think Jesse is doing everything right as far as abusing that big stack within reason. Like, he's not just raising literally every hand, but anything where the hand could be semi-playable, he's all over it. He's making everybody else make big decisions. And how do you fold the King-9 in the small blind? Oh man, you only have 5 big blinds and you folded King-9 in the small blind. Nobody else is in the hand. Tens, aces, that's an all-in. Everybody else is going to fold. Unibluffer does at least have clubs going for him. Except 2 of those just got folded, but, I mean... Oh, clubs. Nope, has to be a 10. And now we're down to 5. So Unibluffer, congratulations. 6th place. Get you $642 and change. 5th place is $840, and there's a real pay jump up ahead. Top 4 get 4 digits. And boy, one way, getting queens on the big blind. Cat Daddy with a suited ace has to be thinking of pushing. I would if I were him. And he does, and he's going to be in big trouble. One way's even got one of his queens, or one of his diamonds. And that's a horrible flop for Cat Daddy. He's already out of it. Oh, wait, no, he wasn't. He could have hit a jack on the river, my bad. But that's going to do it for Cat Daddy. He's going to take 5th place. Drewman is just sitting on the sideline, and 2 players got knocked out in back-to-back hands, and just like that, he is guaranteed $1,166. And that's an easy all-in for him. But see, now all of a sudden, Jesse's still way ahead, but we got 14 million over here and 11 million over here. They're 1 hand away from taking the lead. Truman, of course, unbelievably getting that all in through. Theoretically, there'd be no fold equity, but I wouldn't call that all in with 3-4 either. Raise with the King-10 suited. One way has chips now. You can call with the Ace-9. You could fold it too, though. Ace-9 does not play very well post-flop, and he's going to go ahead and do just that. You got a hand that doesn't play all that well post-flop, and the chip leader is playing. I understand. I understand folding there. 10-5 is an easy fold. King-9 you might play. Except the thing is, Drewman is so short. You figure he's probably all in, and if you don't want to call 2.7 million, then you might as well fold the King-9. How does he fold the King-8 in the small blind? I mean, he made a super tight fold in the small blind last time, too. But, like, look at your stack and look at everybody else's. You have to try something. You have to move all in here. You have to. Thank you. Guess you can fold one way. Might actually call with Jack 5 suited, as silly as that looks. It's only 4 big blinds. Yeah, and if he loses, it's not the end of the world. And Looks good for Drummond. And it is good for Drummond. But you see how short he still is. It's still a very long shot for him to come away with this tournament. King 10, that's probably an all-in. He can't see the other cards, of course, but that should get around. Everybody's going to fold. And 5.2 million is much, much meatier than 2.5 million. So he's got some fold equity now. And now he's got a little bit more fold equity. Next time he goes all in. Ace 2, that should be a race for the chip leader. One way, we'll have a bit of a decision here with the 7s. If he thinks that the chip leader is raising light, and this is not light, but it's fairly light, then you can easily re-raise all in here and just get it done. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Drewman's going to fold. Jesse, I don't think is going to risk that much. It's just ace 2. That'd be one heck of a gamble. Now, smart play. And he's going to show the ace. And one thing that I've kind of enjoyed doing here in America's Cardroom is you're allowed to show one card, which you couldn't do in replay poker. You could show either no cards or both cards. The one thing I wish there was on America's Cardroom is a button to just muck. Because if you don't want to show, you actually have to wait 2, 3, or 4 seconds for the machine to muck for you. I set mine to 3 seconds. All right, so we have an all-in for B-Hopper. This is going to get through. No one's going to call. But yeah, the fact that you have the option to show one is pretty cool. I like what Jesse did there. It's like trying to send a message that he's not going to be reckless. That, you're not going to catch him bluffing too much. But you totally might. You totally might catch him bluffing. Tempting to raise, and he is going to raise one way with the ace-jack, though. See, by showing that, maybe he'll be discouraged, and he's going to just call. He's going to just call because he's thinking, oh, crap, what if Jesse has another decent hand that he might call me with? So showing that one card might have played a bit of a role in that. Now, do you want to bet here? Probably not, considering you just called preflop. To bet here, I mean, you could get away with it. You could be representing like a random, say, Queen 8. Now, Jesse has a gut shot. Needs a 6 for a straight. He's going to bet. See where he stands. Or see where one way stands, rather. He's going to keep going. Can't say I blame him. And he now picks up one runner to the ace-high flush. Jesse, of course, still with that gut shot. Jesse's going to lay back, and the flush comes through for one way. Of course, the 6 of spades theoretically would bring a straight flush, but I don't think he's going to be super petrified of that. Probably looking for a value bet here. Do your own bidding, sir. He's got a full-time make of 43 or 45 seconds. To go with half pot and easy fold for Jesse. Unless he was thinking maybe about going crazy and raising all in and pretending that he has the ace of spades. Or the 6 of spades, rather. It wouldn't have worked. I'm sure one way would have called, but that would have been quite the interesting play. But see, here we go. One way is up to almost 16 million. Jesse, just about 23 million. One way is not all that far behind. One way doesn't have to double up. He can just knock out B-Hopper and he would take the lead. This one I'm just getting excited when I see post-flop play. Okay, now this pause might be because they really are talking about doing a deal, because one way is close enough to Jesse that they might be thinking about doing some kind of insurance against Like, the reason why they do the deals is to protect against the variance of what's to come. I still call BS. I think they should just man up and play for the whole thing. It's just what I am. I mean, I'm a complete and utter softie. I mean, you can see dolls behind me, and I love those dolls very much. But the spirit of the game is tainted, and I mean really badly tainted, with the idea that you can come all this way from 8,892 players down to 4, and then just shake hands at the end and agree to split the money. Like, no, no. You beat 8,800 and I guess 88 because there's 4 left. You're gonna play the whole thing through. Come on. At least that's the way I feel. Well, I've already butchered my usage of that timeline, so I don't really have to say. Now, good news is this file is only 41 minutes long, so the risk of screwing this up again. I think this is the next hand. Okay. Wait, no. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Jesse's got 32 million. He's got 10 million more than when we last saw him. B Hopper and One Way have given up big chunks to him. Drewman is still somehow hanging in there. And this is a tough decision for Drewman, but he's going to keep folding because Drewman is by far the tightest of these 4 players. They're being nice and showing each other's cards, which is nice. I like that. And now I have a new set of controls here, which I think means that real time the game just ended, which is bad because now I have an idea of when it's going to end and who's going to win. So yeah, raise all. How many Ace Jack versus Ace King hands have we seen? Dude, you put in 3.5 million, you have to call. You put in 3.5 million. That's a 5x raise. You can't fold. You can't put a 5x raise and then fold. Thank you. And there's the king, and that is going to be a queen or bust, and that is no queen. So One Way, a valiant effort indeed, but that is going to be 4th place. I do not know whether or not they chopped. I'm just going to act like they didn't. So $1,166.40 for you, and everybody else guaranteed 514 more. Drewman, unbelievably, is still sticking around and laddering up. I don't know how he did it. He was so far behind. He just got that one double up, and all of a sudden he had enough to just survive and wait for a cooler between the other two contenders. Well, even I would fold that 5-3 off. The thing is, we're 3-handed now, so you're going to be the big blind 1/3 of the time. You're going to be a blind 2/3 of the time. You're going to run out of chips any second now. It's now completely inescapable. You have to get your money in at some point. Antes are even 100,000. He's only got 25 antes left. You got to go for that. And amazingly, it might get through because Jesse, I don't think, is calling with 8-2. B Hopper might call with a 6-4. It's only 1.68 million more, but nope. Freeman's going to show one card. Nope. And Drewman has played unbelievably tight. He didn't even think about it with the 8-7. Come on. Forgive me for getting slightly aggravated, but, like, you have to play the ace. Even he's not going to. And again, Jesse with the 6-3 off. I mean, 3 million's so small, but nope, he's going to let him have it. Play the ace. Nope. Ace. Go for it. 5 big blinds. 3-handed. You got to go all in. Jesse might call. B Hopper might call if Jesse doesn't. Okay, B Hopper might call. Nope. I gotta say, Drewman's all-ins have had much more fold equity than I could have ever imagined. This might actually be a walk for Drewman. Oh, nope. Badly timed all-in from B Hopper. Because he's actually got something this time. Wow, and just like that, he's up to 11 million. I guess I should stop making fun of him. I mean, you really can't blame B Hopper for that all in. It looks terrible moving all in with the 5-3, but we've seen how tight Drewman is. If he doesn't have that strong of a hand, then he's just going to get out of her way, and that'll be that. She'll pick up the big blind. But Drewman just happened to have a really strong hand, and here we go again. B Hopper risking being out in third place just like that. And he hits the straight on the river to double to 18.3 million. And look at this. We suddenly have a real ball game here all of a sudden. All three players with completely playable stacks. And the game doesn't pause there, which would indicate that maybe they did do a deal four-handed. I don't know. I'll have to check the lobby after this is over, because obviously if I check the lobby now, it'll tell me who wins. And did she just fold there? Like, I'm all for taking a back seat after winning a big hand, but I think you have to play that hand. Jesse's not that scary anymore. Like, you can actually stare him down almost at eye level, so you can't still be acting like you're afraid of him. Because you really shouldn't be afraid of him anymore. You're close enough that you just kind of have to take him head on now. Oh, wow. Between their 6 cards, they actually had a straight flush there. 8-6-4 club. This is my second favorite hand. Behind the King 10 of hearts. And, oh wow, we're seeing a bunch of garbage hands here. It's probably going to be a walk for B Hopper. Unless Jesse's feeling feisty and wants to take her big blind. Looks like that he'll do that. And B Hopper's going to fold. B Hopper's probably been the second tightest. But again, there's nothing like objectively wrong with the way they're playing. I mean, they've held on extremely well, with Jesse being such a tyrant this whole final table. Hasn't even really come that close to giving up the chip lead. There are like a couple of minor scary moments here and there, but he rebounded every single time. He's done that again here. Ooh, kings. Jesse with a call, I'm sure. He's not being reckless. He's playing very, very well. He's not just throwing his chips around. But that flopping middle pair with a backdoor club draw is going to get him into trouble. I think this is another call he has to make here. Big bet, though, by B Hopper. Don't know what Jesse's going to make of that. Can he get away from this? No, he is going to call. And there's one runner for the flush. So he's probably still going to stay in this. If B Hopper's going to check. And Jesse's going to come up empty on the river. B Hopper can just take a free one there. I can't say I blame her. Because if Jesse comes back over the top of you and you're all in, then you're just hating life. That's still a very significant pot. And once again, we've got a very close game here. Drewman's going to go all in. Jesse might go for it, but no. He just lost that pot. And B Hopper, if she wins, she's going to go heads up as the leader, but she needs an ace, and that's not going to do it. Drewman doubles up to 15.6 million. It is almost midnight, but I'm kind of getting into this. I don't know about you. King 9. Gotta play that. I'd assume a min raise. And B Hopper might be thinking all in. Yep, there she goes. And Jesse's probably got to fold the King 9. It's a fairly strong hand, three-handed, but when B Hopper three raises all in, you kind of have to just pack it in. And this is anybody's game all of a sudden. B Hopper and Drewman's plans, this is an easy fold, have worked out very well, actually. They've been waiting for other people to slip up, and they've been waiting for their spots to just hopefully catch Jesse. Or he hasn't been playing recklessly, but he's just, been playing most of the hands as he should be. But all they need is just one good flop, and they can take it from him. And they've done a really good job with that. Jesse, I think, is playing excellent big stack poker. But the playing field has completely leveled here. B-Hopper chooses not to play post-flop with Druman. Not sure why they showed each other there. Ace-King suited for Druman. That's too strong of a hand, I think, to go all in with. All right, well, he disagrees. I would have assumed that he would have raised like 1.8 million and hoped to see a flop. He doesn't show that for some reason. Right. King Queen suited. He's gonna go all in with that too. I think they're just used to being short stacked, but they don't realize how many chips they have right now. They don't need to go all in anymore. They've actually got plenty. Well, now they might be thinking about going all in. Yeah, nobody's got much. And, maybe a slight mistake there from Jesse. B-Hopper, I'm sure, yeah, she's going to call. Jesse picks up a nice flop, though. Pair of threes with a gut shot straight draw. B-Hopper has pretty much nothing. Jesse was a pre-flop raiser, so if he wants to make it 2.5 million, that should end the hand. It's going to bet even less than that, actually. B-Hopper, as crazy as it sounds, could make this call with 2 overcards and a backdoor club draw, but she is just going to go ahead and let him have it. But still, it's very, very close. Ace-Queen's definitely a play, if not an all-in, and there's the all-in. See, the argument in favor of going all-in, though, is if you're on the button, then small blind at 500k, big blind of $1 million, and then the antes, that is, you're gaining 1.75 million if everybody else folds. If you're the button. Oh, she finally played back at him. See, this is a different ball game now. Queen 8 suited's not all that strong, but she finally gained the guts to play back at Jesse, and that's the one moment we were waiting for. She's not scared of Jesse anymore. And Jesse's now starting to force the issue maybe a little bit more than would be necessary. I think that pot, as brief as it was, might have gotten to him a little bit. Because the thing is, if Jesse gets called there by a bigger ace and the bigger ace holds up, Jesse's the short stack after all that work. It should be a check back from B-Hopper. And a pair of fives for Jesse, a little something something. Doesn't have to bet here. Can if he wants to. But he now knows that B-Hopper's not super scared of him anymore. B-Hopper, though, has 9 high and no real draw, so a little pickup. This stage of the tournament, any pot is a big pot. The thing is, 1.875 million is in the middle before any card is dealt, and we have a total of 53 million and change. Like, before any card is dealt, that's, I think, about 3% of the whole chips in play. So you're fighting for 3% of the chips in play, even if you raise and nobody else calls. You're really swinging the balance of the game. And Druman, please. the 6-4 suited in the small blind. You're not even going to limp. I mean, yeah, obviously Jesse was probably going to be willing to put you in, but still, you can't just fold the 6-4 suited. I guess he just really felt like Jesse was about to raise them all in and decided to save himself 500,000. I mean, that logic's not terrible. The more I think about it. Again, I'm not there, so of course I didn't participate in this. But that being said, I can't guarantee that I would have beaten 8,883 people to get to the final table. Actually, 8,884 people. 8 max, remember. B-Hopper might play, might fold. He's going to fold. Again, I'll check in to see if they made a deal afterward, because that would require spoiling who won. And I genuinely do not know, and I'd like to keep it that way. Don't you dare. Oh, King 10 suited, fear the King 10. I don't know why seeing all this super tight folding is just making me uncomfortable, but it is. Again, I really shouldn't be questioning Drewman because he's done an excellent job thus far. It just feels like he should do exactly that. Stand up for himself and realize that he's in the final 3 and he's got to take on the big bully sometimes. He's not as much of a bully anymore. He's much more within his reach than I think he even realizes. It should go full fold. The 10-6 off, you might consider defending, but obviously the way that he's been playing, he's not going to do it. Oh, but there you go. Now he's got aces. Will he limp? Will he min raise, or will he go? He's going to limp. And if Jesse takes this opportunity to go all in, no, he's going to restrain himself. And 3 aces for Drewman. Can he get anything out of them, though? This seems like an obvious spot to check, see if Jesse wants to bluff. But Jesse has been very careful so far. Oh, he's going to bet, and Jesse's got backdoors, but the way Drewman's been playing, this seems like an easy fold, and it is. Drewman is going to show. No, he's not going to show. He's probably punching the air, because, man, oh man, that's exactly the spot he was waiting for, and he barely got anything out of it. Okay, somewhat interesting flop. B-Hopper gets middle pair. Jesse again with another backdoor draw. And those backdoors are gone. He just has king high. Will he try to steal? Yes, he will. B-Hopper's going to go nowhere, though. The second pair is way too much to fold. Oh, but he hits a king on the river. He's got no kicker, so he might just check it back. And B-Hopper, I'm sure, is going to check back, too. So that nice river will get Jesse back into a position where he can pretty much dominate the table again. At the very least, if he goes all in and loses, it can't be that bad for him now. I don't think he has lost the lead for a single hand. It's been really close. It's been real close a couple times, but he has come back every single time. I don't want to say that B-Hopper and Drewman don't deserve it. They've played amazing, like, survival instinct poker, but you got to give it up to Jesse. He has played fantastic. And this could be a knockout in progress if B Hopper, I don't think, should just call. And that is a brick de la brick flop. No one hit anything there. I'm sure Jesse knows that, so maybe 2 million. Goes half pot. B Hopper will probably fold. And I guess what we're just seeing here is an absolute masterclass here by Jesse 483. When you got a really big stack, this is just how you keep pounding the table into submission. You don't have to do it every single hand, but just pick your spots smartly. And just like that, he is within striking distance of just taking this whole thing down here. Truman, you have to play back. You have to start playing back. This is just painful. You're just letting him walk all over you. Oh, here we go. Suited king for Jesse. Might be thinking all in. Blue B-Hopper with a pair is going to call. And that is a king. And B-Hopper can get a flush. Or a 5 for a double up. And one hand changes the balance yet again. B-Hopper is only 7.5 million points down from Jesse. And again, they're just moving right along. I think they might have done a deal four-handed. B-Hopper's probably going to fold Drooman, though, with jacks. And just like that, he's priced in. And if there's no ace on the river, we're practically at a three-way tie. Oh, man, I love poker. Just like that, two hands, and we're practically at a three-way tie. Now, that would have been the perfect time to do a deal, so the fact that they just skipped right along tells me that, yeah, they probably cut one four-handed. If it wasn't so late, I would have been a little bit louder on B-Hopper's double up. I'm trying to contain myself. It's very late. But Jesse is still going at it, which I admire, even though he's not in the domineering position that he's been in all final table. He's not letting it get to him. He's not getting skittish. Jesse, I actually did look in earlier in the tournament. I can tell you that Jesse is from Brazil. I do not know about the other two. I could have mentioned that an awful long time ago, but I just didn't. Yeah, America's Cardroom, at least from the little bit of exposure I've had to it, I can't really find out a way to learn much more about a player or like track them or befriend them. You're not even allowed to chat. You're allowed to like do little emotes, both for your character, your like avatar character. You have 5 different emotes, and then there's just regular emoji reactions that you can put up there, but you can't say words to anybody, which begs the question on how the heck they do deals. Because I know they can, but they can't speak words. I guess unless you get into a deal. I don't know. I really don't know. In any case, I'm declining every single deal offer. I wish I could explain in words to them that I'm not declining the deal because I think I'm better than you. That's never going to be the case. I'm only declining the deal because I just hate what it does to the spirit of the game. Because, like, that's the thing. A lot of players will look at a deal and say, I'm going to decline this because of skill advantage. And I'm like, are you trying to make everybody want to punch you in the face? No, Drewman's got to go all in here. And Jesse with King 10, I think, has enough to make the call. And this would be a lead change in favor of Drewman. Just a raise. But he's going to go all in anyway. Drewman now in position to double up for the chip lead. He's a king or a 10, Jesse, and that is not going to do it. Drooman is now your leader after spending all night folding seemingly every single spot. In the back of my mind, I almost knew it had to play out like that. I've been wincing at all that tight folding, and yet here he is, suddenly the first person not named Jesse483 to be leading this final table the whole time, and now he's in a dominant position against Jesse on the very next hand. Drooman with the betting lead pre-flop will probably lead out again here, and Jesse's going to fold, and that's going to extend the lead for Drooman to 26 million versus 14.7 and 12.5. But Jack's now for Jesse. I don't think he's going to get much out of it, though. Even though Drooman's ahead, I can't see him suddenly shifting and being super loose with, 10-2 suited. Nothing. Yeah. I'm okay with that fold. Now he's actually got the stack that he's allowed to wait around for hands as he sees fit. Oh, we got an all-in with the King 4. Don't know if I would have done that. I might have just limped or min-raised. Min-raised with the 7-8 should get through. Unless Drooman wants to play the 9-4 suited. Nope. I'm okay with the fold. I would have been okay with the call too, but yeah. 9-4. Even though it's suited, it's still 9-4, so no problem folding that. I think you're allowed to fold the Queen 6 there too. Queen 6 is the 2-card combination I get dealt most often on replay poker. At least it seems that way. So just like that, we're pretty much tied again between Drooman and Jesse. With B Hopper bringing up the rear, and she is genuinely being card dead. I'm just going by... Again, there's no information on these players that I can easily dig up. At least I haven't found a way to do that. So I'm just going to assume that she's a girl because that's what her avatar is. Wow, blinds are up even further. B-Hopper's got to go for it. And Jesse, I think, has to go for it, too. 5 million more priced into call. Hits the 6 on the flop. And that's going to do it for B-Hopper. An amazing showing. Held on for as long as she could. Very nearly took the lead herself at one point, but Jesse is just too much for her in the end, and she's going to bow out in third place. And again, I'm pretty sure by this point they've done a deal, so I'm just going to kind of let the results speak for themselves from now. So we're heads up now between Drooman and Jesse. Drooman, who seemingly was just folding and praying all night long, but managed to actually get his hands on a good stack of chips in the end. And Jesse, who has just been on fire all night, but not even necessarily just playing with good cards. He's just been playing excellent poker. Drooman's been playing so tight, but he's made it work. I'm quite impressed. I consider myself to be a tight player, but Drooman is way tighter than I've ever played. Jesse with a nice re-raise all in there. Jesse again within striking distance of the title. But not so fast. Drooman's got it ace-10. Maybe Jesse might try a min-raise here, and Drooman probably will go over the top all in. Reverse of the last hand. Yep, and that should be a fold for Jesse. 10-7's never going to be good here. I do hope that you're enjoying my commentary. Even though it's been kind of borked because I don't know how this interface works. But you see most of the hands of this final table. Not all of them, but most of them. My voice at a relatively low volume. Hopefully it hasn't been cutting in and out, because this mic does that sometimes. I don't know if it's the microphone's fault or OBS's fault. It might be OBS's fault. So we have a limp and a raise and a call here. 3-5 suited could flop pretty well. Doesn't flop very well, but neither does Drummon's hand Ace-6. So they both have nothing. Let's see what happens. Goes check, check. Now the 2 gives Jesse a straight draw. The thing is, if he hits the straight, that would be one of Drummon's cards. So he can't hit a straight without Drummond pairing up, and that might be the end of the game, especially if it's an ace. He's going to go ahead and bet now, and Drummond's probably going to fold because he has just ace high right now. Okay. So we're spared the carnage, at least for a little while. But again, we're heads up now with blinds of 700,000, 1.4 million, so it's going to be carnage at some point. Drummond's only got 11 big blinds. Now he's got 12 big blinds. Drummond with an ace, which heads up at this blind level is pretty much good enough to go with if you feel like it. You might feel like just hanging back and playing post flop. You should never fold to a raise, though, when you have an ace heads up. You can call, you can raise, but never fold to just one raise. I forgot who was playing. I forgot this is Drummond. He has other ideas. Again, I don't want to disrespect him because he's done a great job to get heads up here. But, I mean, you gotta put your foot down. He's gonna put his foot down with 8-7 of all hands, and it looks like it's gonna work. He passed on the ace-2 offsuit. He goes with the 8-7 of clubs. The 8-7 comes through for Drummond, and he is leading the tournament yet again. Heads up here. It's not a huge lead, but it is a lead. And Jesse might want to think about just letting this one go and not jeopardizing all the hard work he's done to get this far. Now he's going to raise. Drummond's certainly going to fold the 2-9. As soon as I start talking about he needs to put his foot down, he does put his foot down, but with a hand I would not have expected him to do it with. And we see the pattern continue. Jesse suffers a setback, and he picks up right where he left off. They both hit a jack, and they both have no kicker, so this is most likely going to be a chop pot. Although I did suffer a hand like this in the free roll that I played, where we both had a pair and no kicker, and the other guy hit his kicker on the river for a double up. So it can happen. They're both playing it. Oh, Jesse's going to fold. He's going to give him credit for a king when all he had was a jack. Jesse is suddenly starting to fade away a little bit. I don't want to say that. There's only one opponent, but he just happened to give him a little bit too much credit in that case. One of the few misreads he's had all night. I say all night. Well, it has been all night. I mean, day 2 started at 6:05 p.m., and now it's 12:22 a.m. All right, nothing crazy about that hand. Okay, Jack 5 versus King 3. So close in chips. 9-2 suited. Gonna make the raise. Drummond with ace jack certainly not going anywhere. Question is call or all in. Because I don't think at this point you can do a regular 3-bet. It's either call or you're all in. Even Drummond would never fold ace jack in this spot. He's going to go all in. Jesse probably has to fold this. Yeah. Good thing I had time make. Another ace jack for Druman. And Jesse with 9-4 off has to get rid of that, I assume. Yep. I'm amazed at what I'm seeing here. Druman's actually pulling away after seemingly just clinging to driftwood out into the ocean for the whole final table, just begging that he doesn't have to move any muscles, just begging for a helicopter to pick him up without him having to do anything. He's finally doing things himself here. He picked up a gut shot on the turn here. He needs a 9 to fill it, but that would be a pretty ugly straight. He's just going to get rid of it. Yeah, I agree with that. And Jesse shows the queen. The blinds are up again. 8-6. And I think you should play that. Now, of course, it turns out that Jesse certainly would have raised and he would have had to fold, but, you know. 8-6, I think I remember, is my father's favorite hand. That matters much here, right? 8-9 versus 10-2. The 9 hits the board for Jesse. Druman has nothing. Druman's going to bet, though. Jesse's certainly not going anywhere. It's going to go all in, and that should end the hand. And we are practically dead even again. Amazing. King 9 suited and 5s. Ooh, this is a bit of a cooler. 4 million. Jesse might go for it, and Druman might call. Here we go. This is basically for every single chip. We have a set versus a flush draw, and the set is gonna win it. Druman now left with just crumbs. He has to go all in no matter what on the very next hand. He's practically all in by default. He'll have like 200,000 left. But yeah, he's all in by default. He has no choice. He happens to have pocket threes. And there's a 5 in there for Jesse. He needs a 3 or 6. But that's it. And Jesse 4-8-3 after dominating the final table all night long comes through in the end despite a valiant effort from Druman, who even managed to get the lead for a good chunk of heads up there. You know, and made me look very stupid during the process, I must say, because I was wincing at the way he was playing, but hey, he pulled off a heck of a run. So good job for him, and let's see here. No. It looks like they actually played for it straight up because the prize pool, like I've seen where it says that they did a deal, and like there's a little asterisk by the prize pools here, but no, apparently they just played for the money straight up. Good on them. I'm really happy to see that. And congratulations, Jesse. You played fantastic poker. I hope I don't have to run into you when I finally get to play the dime, because man, you played well. All right, so congratulations again, and thank you all for watching on YouTube. And I am going to bed. It's 12:27 a.m. Bye.